And we're live. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Hope you had a good weekend. Em Leeser's in the house. Em, how are you doing? Shannon. Hey, Em. Well, that's great. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We had some good weather here. Oh, surgery to on Thursday? Where are you going to have surgery for, Em Leeser? Thank you. Hope all is good, man. Yeah. Well, anyway, um, got some good stuff coming up for that John Deere 4630. I mean, there ain't much tractor left, to be honest with you. So, but yeah. Also, some ankle feet, lack of blood flow. Oh, wow. Hope all goes well, Em. Yeah, Shannon got quite a bit of stuff going on, and um, after a year sitting on that John Deere 4630, I was finally able to pull that in. Got it all tore apart. Got washed up the other day. I'm going to pull it back in tomorrow, clean it up some more. Uh, the gasket surface areas and whatnot, get that all prepped and cleaned up. And then I've got a couple cars coming in. One that needs one that's going to be a big job. Fort Flex needs timing chain. And while we're in there, we're going to do the water pump and then a transmission. So there'll be a big job on that Flex. What up, Dave? Dave, if you want, I can send you a link if you like, if you're at home or not. I don't know if you're at home or not. Let me put it that way. The quick range. But yeah, I found a sticking valve. One of the valves is sticking really bad. And then I found a bent push rod. Here, I can grab the parts real quick. Give me 1 second. So we got this one is bent. Right now, the bendy part is upward. It's about right here. Can you tell? So you got a bent push rod. And then this one has been revving pretty good. And then there's two tappets. So this is how the tappet's supposed to look like. And that's how much it wore off. Can you tell the difference? So that is one. And then here's another one. That's even thinner yet. See that? So let me send Dave a link real quick. Give me 1 second. Hang with me here, guys. Paste. Sent. All right, Dave, your link is sent. Yep, no problem. Yep, 3.5. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, he wants to have the timing chain done. It's his wife's car, and he just wants to have it in tip-top shape. And he's like, well, it's just a matter of time that, that needs to happen. He says once it's in the shop for that transmission, might as well get that done too. So, yeah, it's got pretty good bend in it. So, as you can tell, and like I said, then the two tappets are wore. Like I said, this one is really wore down versus this one here. That's how it's supposed to be. Chaka Gillis. Heidi ho, guys and gals. Yeah, sure. So I'm betting that's why that tractor wasn't running right, and therefore probably got parked. So that's the whole, I think that's the whole problem with that tractor. And then it got parked, and then it's set for a long time. So let me put these parts back real quick. Give me 1 second. We must save 3.5. Yeah. Yeah, I feel if you got the non-turbo one, you're going to be in better shape than we have the turbo one, in my opinion. But yeah. So found out, got all the bushings pulled or the liners pulled. We got all the pistons out. It's like I said, there's not much left. So, and cleaned a bunch of parts up already. So, getting a pretty good idea of what we need to get now. 4 parts. So, but now I'm going to work on it a little bit more tomorrow, and then it's going to go outside for a bit, and then I'll work on I got a couple cars, so I got that Subaru it's coming back for an oil change, and we've got to replace a sensor. So I'm going to get that done too. That will be for upcoming week. And then we'll pull the, I want to pull the John Deere back in and get the parts ordered in the meantime, pull the John Deere in after that, and then see if we can get that old girl back up and running again. So it'll be interesting. But the Snap-on guy stopped by the way. Picked up a couple things off the truck. Let me grab him real quick. Got me 2 pliers. Got me to 90 degree. I last week I had no 2 weeks ago, maybe longer, somewhere in there. I had definitely a need for one of these, and so I got one now, and then I got this one too. So we'll see how this thing does. Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, I got a list, so here not for too long we'll do another video on the tool haul, so y'all can see what we got. Northern Grid, how are you? So yeah. Got to say, I got the Knipex one too. So I don't know. The only thing I do like about the Snap-on one, it's quite a bit thinner. So I think you can get into a little tighter places with this thing here. Did you see the new Metco hose clamp pliers? No, I don't think so, Shannon. Was it on YouTube by any chance? I'm personally not necessarily the biggest Metco fan. They do a little too much rebranding for my liking, to be honest with you. So, but so yeah, we got that. Metco Toby. Okay, I'll do that, Shannon. I'll check it out. I can tell you right now, for the hose clamp pliers, my go-tos are these right here. I love these, man. I use those all the time, and these have been really, really great. Just got a new bore scope, and then my air hammer died. Oh my God. That sucks. What air hammer did you have, Northern Grit? I've got, I personally have the Chief, and I've been fairly impressed with that thing, to be honest with you. The only thing I wish it had was a better trigger control. expensive week. Yeah. The Cornwell. Have you seen the new Cornwell air hammer? It's supposed to be the strongest one on the market. They got two new ones out. One is just a regular air hammer, and then the other one's supposed to be, um, heavy duty or however you want to call it. It's supposed to pack a heavier punch. Lasted 14 years. Well, that ain't too bad though. 14 years. I got the Chief. It's been running pretty good. I saw the new one. I also like the Aircat. Okay. Yeah, I don't use the air hammer a whole lot. I use it I don't want to say it. Yeah, I use it, but not too much. So I looked at the new one from Cornwell. If I would use the air hammer more, I would have bought it, but I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't justify spending $400-500 on one. Yeah. Snappy one 600. Yeah, that's a lot of money for an air hammer. So, and like I said, I personally don't use it all the time. But this thing has been pretty good for me. So the only thing I wish that it had a little better trigger control. It's basically all or nothing. You can't really feather that trigger, but other than that, man, that thing that packs a punch. So and then I got a couple long punches to go with that, and I've got some shorter ones too. But I use these quite a bit. These two right here gives you a lot of extra reach. Yeah, South Main Auto has that answer too, ain't it? Yeah, like I said, that's the only thing that sucks because I mean, you can't really feather that trigger at all. It's all or nothing. And there's plenty of times where I wish I could feather that trigger a little better. It makes you feel like you have a little bit more control over the amount how much of a punch you need because you don't always need full bore, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's a hell of an air hammer. But well, like I said, I don't use it enough to say, I'm going to spend $400, $500, $600 on one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw that, Emily, sir. That's been a while ago, but yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's a hellacious air hammer. I mean, but the bits are bigger. It's got the next size up, wasn't it? And it makes it a little harder to find bits for that big one. It's like 498 shank size, I believe. I have that air hammer. It's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I don't use an air hammer all that much, so yeah, it's 498 versus the 4. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I tell you what, pounding them pistons out of that John Deere, I used the shit out of that air hammer, and I was glad I had those long bits to go with that. 401, yeah, that 401 is basically standard size. 498. I think Mayu makes 498 shanks for those air hammers. Here, let me grab one of them. So these suckers were in there so tight. You see, that's how it's supposed to look like, and that's how it ended up looking like, because I had to pound it from underneath to push them out. And I mean, you can tell how rusty they are. Just didn't want to come out at all. So but yeah. Yeah, now I got my hands all dirty. I come in the house, my wife thinks I've been working. Okay. I got a cheap short barrel. What up, Dave?
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. I hope everybody in chat's doing good also. And happy Father's Day to you fathers out there.
You too, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm that Chief is a pretty happy medium.
The Chief is in its shank size. I'd have to rate the Chief is in the top, say 4 that I've ever used in that size range and that shank size.
Jose Lopez, how are you?
I'd say the Snap-on and the newest Mako air hammer. It's a real tough. Who's tougher? Who hits harder? It's almost so close. I almost want to say they're equal. I know people have done comparisons and tests on them, but there wasn't a brand new Snap-on versus a brand new Mac. Our Mako, the Mako was new. The Snap-on was old. They both hit hard, but the Chief hits really hard too. It's equal to a Mac, other than there's a slight difference in trigger control.
Yeah.
But whoever's
Hey, Walter, how are you?
Is making the Chief.
Yeah, supposedly it's the exact same thing except for the trigger. That's the only difference.
Yeah, basically are the exact same thing. And then I like when I say top 3, okay, so I've mentioned the Chief, the Mako, and the Snap-on. I'm going to put Chief and Mac in the same category. So you got Snap-on, Mako. I'm not saying Snap-on's the best. I'm saying those are 2. Snap-on, Mako hit hard. The Chief and the Mako hit about the exact same. And then after that, I can't remember the model number, but there's an Ingersollter that hits pretty hard. There's also an Astor pneumatic and a Chicago pneumatic that hits pretty good too, from my understanding now, but the barrel's quite a bit longer on them. And I'm not talking about the large shank ones.
Yeah, you're talking about the 401 shanks?
Yeah, I'm not talking about the beast. The 401 shank.
Right. Okay. Yeah, the Thor.
Very powerful. Yeah, the Thor is a very powerful hit. But Astro's making a new one now that's standard shank that hits pretty good. Ingersoll makes a couple good ones. I don't know the numbers of Ingersoll's off the top of my head, what model numbers they are. But bang for the buck, the Chief is definitely, it works.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing I wish the trigger would be a little better, but other than that, for the amount of pounding it can do, it's I'm impressed. So, but it's the no, I don't think so. Northern Grid. I think the Thor is you can feather that trigger as well.
You can feather it. It's just a different beast. It's a short barrel, hard hit, slower hit, but hard hit. It's a much harder hit, bigger barrel, short piston drive.
Chicago,
Yeah, that's one that Astro copycatted. They call it the Thor, or the whatever. The Astro pneumatic or Chicago pneumatic. That was the CP was the original freaking beast. Astro just copycatted it. You have one of the old original Chicago pneumatics. Those things used to just thump. Thump, 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 thump. I mean, you had to two-hand that fucker, man. It didn't hit hard fast, but it hit hard. I mean, it hit fast, but just not as fast as, like, say, the Chief or Snap-on or Mako.
Well, you got more mass to move, right? That's the only way to make it hit harder.
When I say it's slow, I'm going to throw up a number. I have no idea what the blows per minute are on any of these tools. I don't get that detail with it. But say the Snap-on, the Mac, the Chief, the Mako, say they're 2,500 blows per, say, minute. I'm just going to throw up something. This big CP and the big Astro, the big Thor, or big nasty.
More like
Big nasty. It's not Thor. It's not Thor. He calls them Big Nasty. Big Nasty is the Astro pneumatic one. That's Big Nasty. It's what South Main out Eric O calls it. And then you have the Chicago pneumatic one with the 401 shank. So say if the other ones were running at 2,500 RPMs or 2,500 blows per minute, the bigger guys I'm talking about probably half that. Maybe a touch more than half that. Maybe 1,600 blows per minute. It's slower, but still very effective.
What's the one that Astro copied? Okay, I have no idea. I'm not really into air hammer, so I don't know those numbers at all.
Well, they're all copying that shit now. Astro, Aircat copied it. Aircat's got a version of it that hits just as hard. It hits just as hard, and their claim to fame, it's quieter.
Okay.
And less vibration.
Put a sock in it, and then it's automatically quieter.
Yep. If that don't work, use two socks.
That's right.
Sometimes you got to hold the sock in the mouth. If anybody's ever watched Porky's. If they're big time squealer, that sock just blows right out of their mouth. You got to hold it there.
The Thor is Big Nasty's brother. Wasn't I thought the Thor? I thought Thor was what's the impact?
Thor was the half-inch drive impact.
Yeah.
Big Nasty was the air hammer.
That's what I thought too. But so what's new in your world, Dave?
Not much. Same kind of shit, just another day.
Yeah.
It's been doing a lot of work outside the house, yard work, cleaning up. I don't have a lot of property to maintain, but I don't have a lot of time to do it. So when I have time, I do clean everything up, pull the weeds, keep everything looking good, cut the grass, keep it looking civilized until I move out to the country where I can just sit back and say, I don't give a shit.
Oh, Shanna says
Some chick
there's.
tells me grass looks dry over there. I'm gonna get up, put my beer down, and I'm gonna go piss in the spot she says is dry. I'll be like, it'll be green tomorrow, honey.
Shannon says there's two Thors, an impact and an air hammer. That could be. I thought the Thor was just the impact and Big Nasty was the air hammer, but the guy with the 6.7 Platinum might be in her DMs, but my 7.3 Power Stroke is leaking oil in her driveway. Well, it wouldn't be 7.3 if it wouldn't leak a little bit of oil, huh?
I actually get to work on an old car tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Like, what would be old for me? Like, not old for me because of my age, but old for me because it's something that here in Michigan I don't see too many of anymore. But I have a
1999?
93 Ford Mustang 5.0
Oh, yeah.
heater core.
Okay.
Car's mint, man. It only has like 31,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow.
Clean, car's clean as hell. It's mint. A few months back, I put a brand new exhaust on for him. He asked me if he ordered up an exhaust. It was all bolt on, supposedly. I still had to do some modifications. So it wasn't direct bolt on. I'm sorry, Flowmaster, your shit was not a direct bolt on to this
It's
vehicle.
never a direct bolt on.
Yeah, I do some modifications. I do touch a little welding, but I put a Flowmaster exhaust on it, this, that, and other thing, and I ran it for a while, burned all that damn oil. Dude, Flowmaster loads that shit up with oil. I thought they coated the outside of it with some like lubricant to keep it from rusting.
Yeah.
Once I had that thing running, dude, it was spitting and dripping fluid out the freaking tailpipe. That's how much shit they had inside the pipes. Motherfucking thing was smoking so bad I had to take it out of the shop.
Yeah. They thought you were smoking for skeeters, huh?
Dude, it took good 25, 30 minutes for that thing to stop smoking the damn shit that they Flowmasters put inside in and outside the pipes to keep them from getting any corrosion. But I thought it was all like stainless steel Flowmaster. It all looks stainless to me. I don't know why they had to put that much protection on those pipes, but
You got to put protection on your pipe, man.
make sure you keep that pipe well lubricated. You don't want to get rusty.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's only a good thing that after you install it, it smokes a little bit. Oh, this is going sideways in a hurry.
You know, my ex-wife once asked me, what would you do if I started smoking? I said add more lube.
Let's settle, boys.
Where's the farmer's wife at right now?
Apparently not here, thank God.
Well, we'll find this out in a few minutes because I got to tell you a new story about my ball joint press.
Oh.
But I'll tell you in about 20 minutes about my ball joint press. Farmer's wife's on her way, trust me. Balls don't have joints. Chucky Gillis. Ryobi rocks.
Now he'll be saying now Ryobi smokes. You just spit on it.
So we got what? How many people are still watching?
22 right now.
22. We only got like 5 people are talking. So I guess the rest is just like some kind of troll-o-vision.
I don't know, but anyway.
See, I heard you a while back say you got a big job on an edge or some shit.
Fort Flex.
Flex.
Yeah. Yeah. Needs transmission. And he said, well, it's his wife's car. It's got almost 150,000 miles on it. He's like, I want to do the timing chain and water pump and that stuff. He says, I'm sure it's just a matter of time now. It's coming.
What you can do, drop the whole cradle, right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to drop the whole cradle and do it from there.
Yeah, that's what I did. Drop the cradle, lift the vehicle up, and pop the tranny. While you're at it, you'll go to town like a bat out of hell on that timing chainsaw without it being in the car.
Right. Yeah, if it was just a timing chain, I would just leave it all in the car and do it from there.
Well,
But
me too. I usually do that also, and a lot of people tell me I'm crazy, but those that tell me I'm crazy, they all live in the southern states.
yeah,
I will drop cradle. I have no problem, no issue dropping a cradle. Down to do
until
something.
you have to drill out cradle bolts because they snapped off.
I gotta look at it and see like what kind of condition is this shit in? What am I dealing with here? I mean, I can see them as early as 2 years of age being complete, total rotted shit. And sometimes 10-year-old vehicles still look pretty damn good. I don't know what the hell they do with the 2-year-old vehicle that they got it to rot out that bad. I mean, sometimes I want to ask, did you park this son of a bitch in a swamp? I think they park it on grass. That's
Could be. I don't know. Or
grass is a really bad thing for a vehicle. Grass is a really bad thing. Park over grass on a vehicle is a very bad thing because the grass will do every night when it's cooler. And then you have all that humidity burning off, and the sun directly does not hit the grass that's directly under the vehicle. So you always have a certain particular amount of moisture always floating up at the vehicle because you're on grass. You know, if you're going to put something, park a vehicle for any extended period of time like that, you are better off to pay and have a good dump of gravel and make a little gravel parkway to drop it on. That gravel is cheaper than replacing 90% of the car or trashing the car because, I didn't realize it would rust out that bad in the year that I had it sitting out there. You'd be amazed.
Well, and those cradle bolts are nice and long too. I mean, they go way up in there.
Yeah, and then if they start spinning that goddamn, what do they call those bolts? Or the nuts that are encased by the body, unibody, where they clamp them in.
Yeah.
There's a name for them.
Well, I call those blind nuts, but
I forget what they call those, but you call them blind nuts, but there's a technical. Yeah, that shit starts spinning. It just turns into a world of shit, man.
Well, I never had that happen yet, but I did have, I have had cradle bolts just break off. And like I said, then when you have to drill that out, those are long suckers that go all the way up in there. That's a lot of fucking drilling.
Very long, coarse bolts. Usually like 12, most likely like a 14 mil, 175 or 14 mil by 2.0 thread pitch. They're definitely a very coarse thread. I'd say about a 14 mil bolt on average. But yeah, you don't want, and they're hardened.
But I do have to say, most of the time, the fronts are not near as bad as when you have to work on the rears. The rears tend to be more rusted and more
all the wheels the wheels are spitting all this shit back there.
Well, yeah, I mean, all that salt gets collected there in the rear. Yeah, parking in the grass, Shannon, is that's bad for your car. Fastest way to let them rust out.
Oh yeah, it'll rot a vehicle out in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I'd be honest, I don't give a shit what part of the country you live in. There's some parts of the country that are worse than others. And if you're real close to the coastal line, you might have a lot of salt in that water and humidity coming out of your lawn. And people say, "Oh, that's impossible." You ever been in Florida?
Right.
They don't grow grass like we grow in Indiana, Michigan, or Wisconsin. What we call crabgrass and weeds, that's their freaking lawn.
That's their grass. That is their lawn.
That's their lawn because our shit don't grow. It don't grow. I think they got St. Augusta, St. Augustine, and St. Florentin or some shit like that. There's the 3 common grasses in Florida. They're all crabgrass. They're all weeds. Ain't that nice soft grass you can go out barefoot and walk on and be like, "Oh, this feels so nice on my feet." No, you need to wear sandals on that shit.
I don't know. Never been there, so I have no idea. But
I've never been to Uranus either, but I'm sure it's hot and sexy.
Uranus? How the hell does that work, Dave?
Well, your brain tells Uranus you have to empty out.
All right, that's good enough.
I was trying to come up with a good story, but I can't. I'm not in storytelling mode right now.
This one time at band camp? No? Uranus? One time? Band camp? Uranus?
We gotta get Ed, the old tech guy, to come on here and tell us a story. He's got that perfect narrator voice. I haven't seen Ed. He's been like quiet on YouTube, hasn't he? I think he threw up one video or one post in the last like 2 months. I saw something about Father's Day today.
Yeah, Shannon, I've got one of those in here. They shoot one of the main wiring harness and they try to wire it back together themselves. And now the car only runs for like 10 seconds and then it dies. And it shows low.
I get quite a bit of I get a lot of rodent damage from vehicles. Now, I can't say in long term sitting.
Oh, how are you?
How you doing, Bill? In long term, just like sitting in a driveway or wherever the hell they have it sitting. In long term, the car's just been sitting there for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months.
Depends on the time of the year.
Yeah, I can't really say rodent damage is way more common on one make or model than another. But like in a short period of time, like your car was fine today, you go out to it tomorrow and the damn thing don't start, blah, blah, blah. And this you fucked me all up now. No, the car don't start. Yesterday it started, sits in your driveway overnight. Now it don't start. And you don't know shit about cars, so you take it to your local mechanic, whatever, you get towed. They pop the hood and they see rodent damage all over the place. I I most commonly see that on Chrysler vehicles. And I heard
This
that,
is GM.
huh?
This is GM.
Well,
I
I
think a
see it
lot
on
of
all
them
makes and models if they've sat long enough. But I'm saying in this short span. And somebody told me like insulation on the wiring that the manufacturers like to use like a soybean
yeah.
based product, and maybe FCA slash Solana slash Chrysler slash whoever you want to call them. Tomorrow they'll be called Trump's. And so next day it might be the Biden freaking car manufacturer. I don't know. They just keep changing names. But I see it on their cars in my area most frequently in a short span. If they've only been sitting for a little while, I see way more damage on Chrysler vehicles than I
Mice
do
and
Ford or
squirrels,
Chrysler.
you see mice and squirrels, you see that more when you get closer to fall and winter time. If it's in the middle of the year, like like right now, I guarantee you it's chipmunks.
No, I don't see it too much now. I see a lot of it in the fall months.
Yeah, like I said, that will be more your squirrels and your mice.
Like
But
when a
if you
car
see it,
it's for a short period of time though. When a customer tells me, they're telling me the truth. I've only had my when was the last time it started? When was the last time it ran? Yesterday. And I'm looking under the hood and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They did this much damage overnight. These fuckers were busy. And you'll see their shit everywhere. It's all
like I said, I guarantee you those
little
are
intake and all that. I see that more on Chrysler than I do Ford, GM, or any other manufacturer out there in a short period of time when it's only been sitting for a short period. Long term, it don't matter what brand, make, model you have.
right.
They'll find it, they'll attack it. If you
Well,
have animals around.
Dave, tell your story about your ball joint press.
I don't have a ball joint press.
Well, you said you had a story, but you
Yeah,
were waiting on Farmer's Wife to show up.
I sold my ball joint press because I found out balls do not have joints. So I sold my press, traded it back in for a couple new ratchets. And now when my customers say, check my ball joints, I think they need to be replaced. There's play in them. I said, you don't have no ball joints. Balls have no joints. Vehicle's fine. It's caused me a little bit of trouble listening to your wife because now I'm in litigation, arbitration, all that shit. Because I told this to a person with the F-250 and the goddamn wheel fell off, that freaking whole knuckle fell off, flew down the road, fucking killed 3 birds up in the air, and then they smashed the expressway viaduct wall. And now they only can speak Muslim. They don't remember English anymore. And it's all because the ball joint broke that I didn't tell them about. And I said, balls don't have joints. You don't believe me? Ask Farmer's Wife. And they're like, we need to know who this farmer's wife person is. I'm like, there's a farmer's wife. That's all I know. Where does she live? With the farmer's husband? Where does
She
he
lives
live?
in a house with a
No,
mailbox.
then they asked me where the farmer's husband lives. I said, with the farmer's wife. Well, you're confusing me. Where does he live? I said, with the farmer's wife. Well, where does she live? With her farmer husband. They got pissed off, sent me home. I'm still waiting a phone call about this damn ball joint shit. At this point, 30 years I worked as an auto mechanic to find out balls don't have joints. All these years I've been saying, 30 years of saying ball joints, ball joints. Balls have no joints. I've been an idiot for 30 years.
Hey, anyway, so now we're here. Got a little announcement to make. We got a new channel.
Child number 10 on the way.
No. New channel, new YouTube channel. It's me and her together. We're gonna do this together. There you go. There's the link. Yep, shameless plug. That's right. Check it out. Have more farms.
They have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. That's right. Shameless plug. I know you have, Howard. Good to see you. How you been, my man? Awesome, Shannon. Appreciate that. Well,
Together.
yeah, it's the other thing we do. Like we got nothing else going on, so let's do that too. But that will be more the farming side of things.
You got more chickens?
Oh yeah, we got a whole fucking pile of them now. The farm store here, corporate keeps stocking them up with baby chicks, and then they hang on to them for about a week, and then they dump them for $1. Well, guess who picks them up for $1? We are.
When you say farm store, you talking like Tractor Supply or?
Yeah, it's like a Tractor Supply. This is family farm and home. It's just like a Tractor Supply.
We got Tractor Supplies here that do the same thing. I tried
That's
that.
right, Joe.
I bought a chicken for $1. It was a good little chicken until I got hungry and I wanted to go Chick-fil-A, but realized I drank too much. And I thought to myself, I looked at the little chicken, like $1, one bun. I made my own Chick-fil-A.
Oh, it was still a good chicken, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't have no chickens no more though.
But it was still a good chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's farm fresh.
Yep, got in with the staff, and they call before they post them to see if we want them. That's right. We got the inside scoop on them.
Do you like African Americans or are you a racist redneck? Time to get rid of that one.
Yep, just did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was just gonna bounce over. If you're still watching, it's answers not racist redneck.
That's enough, Dave. We don't have to respond to that. Yep. Yeah, those chickens are doing great. That's right. That's right, Howard. That's how it works. We'll clean them right out.
How many chickens you have right now?
I think we're over 400.
That's how big is the coop you got for them?
Not enough. We're running out of room, so there's another. Let's see here. Another built sheet. So upcoming week we got to chicken
You
coop to build.
guys gotta have a hell of a lot of eggs, man.
Hmm?
You gotta have a hell of a lot of eggs.
Well, not yet. A couple more weeks. I'm building some rollout nest boxes right now. Nice.
So my grandparents, I think they only had like about 175 chickens. They had eggs coming out the
Oh,
butt
we're in
time.
500. We're at 500 now. There you go. I'm behind. JWC Tech, how are you? Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is that part of it. That's all of us involved in it. So the kids got their own camera, and they make some funny footage. I tell you what. But we also have buyers for eggs. We have farm stand and sold out a bunch of things this so weekend. We're starting to open again tomorrow evening ish, maybe till Tuesday. Yep. Yeah, we're on TikTok too. JWC Tech Country Mile is and have more farms. So TikTok, Instagram. Well, I don't have more farms and it's not on Instagram, but Facebook. I figured, well, what the hell? Might as well try that farm stand, and that's actually been going pretty good. So what are you hiding for, Dave?
I'm not hiding. I'm changing my cat's litter box real quick.
Oh,
Trash night. I gotta get it out. I'll be right back.
okay. Hey, babe, share that link one more time.
There.
Ah, appreciate it, Shannon. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you go on TikTok with Country Mile Garage, you'll see some of the stuff before you see it on YouTube, though. But yep, first we need some new chicken pens and then a fancy farm stand. Okay. Yeah, she's got all that shit down, JWC Tech. She's way better at it than I am. So here's that link one more time. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. JWC Tech. I don't spend a lot of time on it. Probably about an hour or so during my coffee break, real quick. You scroll through it, but
Yeah, I just scroll through TikTok real quick myself. I never really do much on it.
yeah, I wasn't much of a TikTok person either, Shannon. But yo, mama, what's up? How are you?
What up, Joe? Mama?
What the hell did you just turn on?
Porn. No, my garage door is open.
Oh,
You piece of shit. That's right, you close. You get into the bunker in case the Israelis send bombs my way. I'm joking. I don't know why the garage door opener does that. Something's wrong with it. It's acting stupid.
all right. We're at the hour mark. You ready to say your goodbyes, Dave?
Yeah. I was just reading JW. JEWC, great to see you come on. Everybody in chat, Joe Mama, everybody, Shannon, whoever's left that's still watching us. Happy Father's Day to you fathers out there, and hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, and I hope you all have a very good, safe, and profitable next week. Until next time, as always, shine on.
Yeah, Shannon, that was the fire alarm because she was smoking too much. So he needs to on that.
I don't smoke.
She is smoking too much. You need to on that.
It sounds like a fire alarm. I think it's the stupid garage door opener. My daughter opened it by accident. It's battery backed up. I think when it's doing that bullshit alarm, bullshit warning, I got to update the app on my phone. I probably would get like info of why it's doing that. My daughter will probably tell me, Dad, the battery's no good in that thing anymore. That's probably what it's telling me. That
Probably.
the internal battery is no good. Replace it.
All right, everybody. Check out the link here and have more farms.
I will be doing so very much so tonight.
So I would appreciate it if you check it out. Please like and subscribe. It helps that channel out a lot. And hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody's going to have a good week. And we're going to catch you all on the next one. Peace out.